Welcome to the 2015 7th and 8th grade band holiday concert. You're in for a treat tonight. The 7th grade band's on first, followed by the 8th grade band. I think you'll recognize the hard work these students have put into it. Music is truly a unique subject, and the way that these students cooperate without speaking every single day through playing their instrument and the hard work that they've put into it, it's truly a unique thing, and we're very fortunate to have the opportunity for these kids to play in school every day in this district, and that's not something that other schools get. So before we get started with the 7th grade band, I would first like to introduce the Blackstone Millville Music Association President, Wally Sainamont, to say a few words. Wally, come on up.
Something real quick. In your programs tonight, we handed out a couple flyers for the Blackstone Millville Music Association. We never seem to be able to get out to the middle school parents. We figured here's a good time. We do a lot of fundraising for the Music Association. A lot of the high school parents know this, some of the middle school parents do. And we have a couple events coming up. One is the Barnes & Noble Book Fair that you have there, and there's another paper in there that tells about the Blackstone Millville Music Association and what we do, and some of the fundraisers we do, and how you can help out, raise profit sharing money for your children, whether they go to marching band or not. There's a lot of programs in here you can use for private lessons, money, you can raise money for your child, that goes in an account for your child. And on that packet, down at the bottom on the second page, there's a form here you could fill out. And it'd be great because we could put you in the email. And you'll get all the emails that all the other parents get, so you know about events coming up, or you know how you could help out and raise some money and help us raise money for the organization. Without raising money for the organization, a lot of the music program relies on a lot of the stuff that we do to help them. So that was it. I just wanted to take a couple minutes of your time, but please, if you could, fill out the paper, get it back with your child, to their band director, the board up here. We have our Vice President, Kerry Smith, Lisa Gervais, Cheryl Telstone. These are faces you see around a lot. If you have any questions, just ask any of the board members. We're willing to help any way we can, and we look for your help to help us do our jobs. Really appreciate it. Now enjoy these guys, because they are awesome. Thank you.
I should also say that today happens to be Wally's birthday, so if you give him a round of applause. He looks great for 25. Just to go on top, to have two towns as small as Blackstone and Millville are, and to have a high school marching band that won national championships, to have a winter percussion that won their division at NESBA last year, to have a competitive winter guard, a jazz band that competes, it takes a lot. And the Music Association really does quite a bit financially to help with these groups to make sure that they have the supplies. Because even though we're very fortunate to be supported as well as we are through our school district, this size program has to have a good, strong music association, and we are very fortunate to have that. So please consider getting involved. Without any further ado, 7th grade band under the direction of Mr. Mickey Ireland.
every year. I should be used to it now. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. This is the Hartnett Middle School 7th grade band, and we opened with an exciting work entitled Temple of Sinawava. Those of you familiar with the Great American Southwest or national parks might know that the Temple of Sinawava is actually an incredible rock formation / canyon at the opening of Zion National Park down in Utah. And Sinawava was the coyote god, the mighty coyote god of the Paiute Indians who were native or indigenous to that area. So as you hear all the percussion, the different modal harmonies, and the different colors, I think really present an exciting work. We're going to change speeds completely with an ancient carol that's hundreds of years old. It's called the Wexford Carol. Some scholars think it dates from the 1200s. Some think it maybe only goes back as far as the 1600s. But what is known is that it's from County Wexford in Ireland. And it wasn't famous for a long time. And in the late 20th century, there was a kind of a revival in all things Celtic, and it started to gain notoriety again. So this is a beautiful, beautiful carol. We're going to play an adaptation of it by band composer Anne McGinty. That is really lush and a lot of different things going on, way more than just the melody. So we hope you enjoy the Wexford Carol. If you look in your programs, you can see that the next work on the program is entitled zeal. And that word can be defined as great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of an objective. And I think that word, or that definition, really encapsulates something Mr. Schaefer was mentioning earlier, which is the 2015 U.S. Band's Division IV Open National Champions. But what many of you might not know is that there are actually several 7th graders here on stage who are part of this year's high school marching band. And they definitely espoused that definition of zeal, of working really hard, fiercely, and devoting hundreds of hours and accomplishing a pretty spectacular goal. So I'd like to recognize them if they could stand, or if they're already standing, wave back in the percussion section. Sophia Gurton. Please hold your applause till all of them, and then we can shower them with applause. Back in the percussion section, Natalie Hawkins, please wave. In the trombone section, Zofia St. Gillet, and also in the trombone section, Ellie Gervais. Please give them a round of applause. And speaking of zeal, every year, every concert cycle, it seems that there always emerges a piece that is the consensus favorite of all the kids in the band. My first concert, it was Dark Adventure. Last year, it was Believe. And this year, it's Zeal. That's the type of piece that when the kids walk in, D period, oh, sorry, can we play Zeal? Can we play Zeal? I think you'll see why they like it. It's fast, there's a lot of cool percussion, some very cool driving melodies, and they get to have a lot of fun. So we hope you enjoy this complete change of pace from the Wexford Carol entitled Zeal by Rob Christ. Before we introduce our last piece on the program, I'd like to invite you to definitely stick around and hear the 8th grade's performance. There will be just not even an intermission, just a very, very slight set change, and then we'll be bringing the 8th grade out for their holiday performance. We'd like to close with a really entertaining Latin Afro-Cuban treatment of a carol called Angels We Have Heard on High, or yes, Angels We Have Heard on High. I always confuse that with another one. It's entitled Caribbean Christmas. So you're gonna hear a wide variety of percussion instruments. You're gonna hear some very cool brass effects and some very jazzy articulation. So we hope you enjoy. We thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting your child's interest in music. I want to congratulate these kids for their hard work so far this year. Please enjoy Caribbean Christmas. Thank you so much for sticking around. The ensemble that you have in front of you is the 8th grade band from Hartnett Middle School. This is actually the privilege of, this is the 3rd year that I've gotten to work with this group of kids in some capacity, and it's been a thrill watching them grow from little bitty 6th graders into young adults, many of whom are in the high school marching band, and not only watch their growth as kids, but also as musicians. So that's a great privilege. We're just gonna start things off. We've got a really exciting first tune entitled Adrenaline Engines. The name says it all. Hold on to your hats, hope you enjoy it. Oh, wow, shouldn't have left the mic on. If there was any chance that you maybe didn't have enough Dunkin' Donuts today and you were nodding off, hopefully that waked you right up. We're going to change gears completely with a piece that I actually forgot to put on the program in my infinite brilliance. And it's a wonderful short arrangement entitled Children and Gentlemen. And it's a beautifully done adaptation slash medley of 3 very traditional Christmas carols done by American composer Timothy Broge. And I'm not going to name the 3 carols that are in here. I'm just going to tell you that each of the 3 carols is somehow related to the word children, or gentle, or men. But most of you will be able to figure it out. So as you listen to Children and Gentlemen, enjoy the holiday spirit and try to figure out what those 3 carols are. Thanks very much. Show of hands, how many of you were either in high school or middle school during the 1980s? Or even elementary school? Hopefully, when you saw the program and you saw Oregon Trail, you didn't say, oh my gosh, I hope that guy has not programmed that mind-numbing soundtrack to that ancient computer game, Oregon Trail. Rest assured that is not the case. Oregon Trail is an original symphonic work by American composer Michael Story, and it's really a nice musical journey. It's in a typical fast, slow, fast, or ABA form. It really captures the pioneer spirit of the Old West in the 1800s. There's some spots in it that remind me of the music of Aaron Copland. And it's a lot of fun. It features a lot of different sections in the band. I think you will really enjoy it. And if everything goes all right, no one will be dying of dysentery. We hope you enjoy Oregon Trail. we play the last piece on our program, I want to start off with some very important people who I'd like to thank, starting with our administration. Not sure if they're here tonight, but our superintendent, Mr. Alan Himmelberger, and our assistant superintendent, Dr. Dave Thompson. They're fantastic administrators, and it allows us to work as music educators in a district where music is really valued. And as Mr. Shaper mentioned earlier in the concert, at the middle school, the kids have band every single day for 48 minutes, and that's unheard of in other schools. So we really, really appreciate the support of our administration. I'd also like to thank the principal of the Hartnett Middle School, Mr. Justin Cameron. He's always been a very ardent supporter of the music program in the BMR district, but I'd especially like to recognize the efforts that he went to in a very quick turnaround, recognizing the BMR marching band after they won the national championship down at MetLife Stadium. I'm sure many of you heard he organized a thank you breakfast or a recognition breakfast the first Tuesday after the kids got back from New York, recognized the middle school members of the marching band in front of the entire school. I think that was awesome. He's also responsible for something like half a dozen huge, sharp-looking national championship banners, one of which is in the middle school lobby, and I get to walk underneath every day. So I just want to thank Mr. Cameron for his support of the BMR music program. Of course, I want to thank our department chair, our director of music, Mr. Todd Schaefer. As you guys know, he is incredibly dedicated to the musical success of all the kids in this district. Not just the kids in the high school, but kids really K through 12 and especially 5 through 12 once they begin in band over at the elementary schools. And he's been an invaluable resource for me. And seriously, if that guy had $1 for every email he got from me or text message asking, hey, how do I do this? What would you do in this situation? What do you think of this piece? How do I enter my grades? He would be a rich man. So please give a round of applause to Mr. Todd Schaefer. And lastly, I want to thank my coworker over at the middle school, Mr. Kevin Martins. As you guys know, it's a team effort over at the middle school, and one of the other luxuries we have is having 2 band teachers. So the work you see on stage, he has a huge hand in it. He has done so many trumpet, horn, low brass, percussion sectionals throughout the last 4 months, and also has rehearsed the band a number of times when I've needed to take the clarinets or the low reeds or the saxophones or the flutes for a sectional. So really enjoy working with him. We bounce a lot of stuff off each other, and please give Mr. Kevin Martins a round of applause. Speaking of marching band, before we play our last piece in the program, I want to recognize the members of the 8th grade band, and there's a lot of them who are members of that national championship Division IV marching band. I'm going to start with the back, or with the front, and work to the back. As I call each student's name, you're going to have to stand and stay standing, and once everybody is standing, we will give them a big round of applause. So, in the flute section, Libby Correa. In the clarinet section, Abby Cook, Alyssa Davis. In the tenor saxophone section, Mr. Evan Haggerty. In the trombone section, Aaron Bolduck. And then in our alto saxophone section, Dan Pollock, Kylie Poirier, Olivia Harrison. And then back there in our rock star percussion section, and when I call your name, put your hand up, Lauren Wagner, Dan Arsenault, Matt Coppolino, and Kaylee Chapman. Give them a round of applause for Chance. So before we play our last work in the program, which as you can see is a medley of songs from the ever-popular How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Starts off with, Trim Up the Tree, and then You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, and then ends with a great tune called Welcome Christmas. We want to thank you for coming out tonight. We thank you for supporting your child's interest and passion for music. Wish you a happy holidays and a joyous 2016. Thank you all for coming tonight. Enjoy this medley from How the Grinch Stole Christmas.